Aiju Renter does not have any luck with love, he has minus Riz actually. Aiju is a middle school student just about to graduate, but he has never had a girlfriend, and it's not for a lack of trying. He's actually confessed his love to 100 girls, which is way too many. Every time he tries to get a girlfriend, he gets rejected. The girls are also pretty nice about it, but in the worst way possible. His last rejection, a girl told him that while he is nice and kind, she would literally throw up if she imagined dating him. A simple no would have been enough goodum. We met up with Aiju as he is talking with his best friend. They are basically getting hyped up for high school. Aiju still thinks there is a chance he can get a girlfriend. He will not stop trying. His friend, on the other hand, thinks that Aiju is a lost cause. Aiju goes so far as to pray at a local love shrine. He prays to the god there, hoping to get some luck in this new high school year. Suddenly, a god actually appears, totally shocking Aiju. The god is so annoyed with Aiju praying to him that he just gives him a cheat code to his own giant harem. Basically, when Aiju starts his high school year, he will have 100 girls all be his soulmates. They will all fall in love with him at first glance and will want to date him. Aiju tells the god that he better not be lying, otherwise he will burn down his shrine. Finally, the day arrives and Aiju starts high school. As soon as he walks in, he runs into two super cute girls, Hakari and Inda Karain. Of course, just as the god said, these two girls start to fall in love with Aiju. He literally does nothing but just stand there, and these girls are loving it. Hakari and Inda chase after Aiju all over the school, and finally they give him an ultimatum. He has to pick between one of them and date them. Aiju returns home, and now he has a dilemma on his hands, one he cannot figure out without some help. He is torn between both girls. One is a cute yandere, and the other is just the perfect partner for him. Aiju goes to talk with the Shine God, and then comes the twist reveal. Every person is meant to have one soulmate in their lives, but since the gods made a giant mistake, Aiju has 100 soulmates. The problem is that whoever he picks will live, but the one he rejects will die. Aiju now realizes that this is not fun and games anymore. He is literally playing with these girls' lives. For that reason, Aiju decides on a bold move. The following day at school, he tells both of the girls that he really likes them and wants to date both of them at the same time. The girls at first get angry at this, but soon accept it. Aiju realizes that he has 98 more girls and he has to date all of them or they will die. Our boy Aiju has went from never having a girlfriend all the way through middle school to now having two girlfriends at the same time. This is a dream come true for him and he is loving every moment. The problem is that both Hakari and Inda want to be a main girl and Aiju is the person who constantly has to calm them down. For the first day of classes, we also met the crazy vice principal lady who runs all over the school, attacking and kissing every student. That should be a crime, but I guess it's not in this world. Hakari and Inda start to talk about who should be Aiju's first kiss. They both want to do it. Aiju is just suffering from success at this point with ladies fighting over him, and he is just chilling. Finally, Aiju comes up with a game. They will all be blindfolded and kissed by the luck of the dice. Aiju proving once again that it's no wonder he did not have a girlfriend. Dude created an entire video game level just for a simple kiss. This wacky plan of his, of course, does not work, and the girls end up running after him. Finally, Aiju decides that they should all kiss at the same time on the roof. The girls accept this, and they finally kiss, all three of them. It looks like they are summoning aliens on the roof, not kissing, but whatever. Aiju and the three girls now all start to know each other more. Inda is not too happy about Yoshimoto being on the team. It's like Aiju is building a football team and not dating. Aiju then decides to show the girls that he cares about every single one of them. He knows all their little cute moves they do, and he knows what they like most and what makes them embarrassed and shy. The girls somehow fall in love with him even harder after this. Then he comes up with the idea of a tickle game. Aiju starts to tickle all the girls and they get flustered. If someone walked in on them, they would be hella confused. Just a dude tickling three girls on a school rooftop for no reason. Yoshimoto has to communicate through her text-to-speech phone device. She is way too shy to talk to anyone. Aiju loves that about her and wants the girls to accept her. Yoshimoto also cannot do anything spicy with Aiju until marriage. I want to remind everyone that these people met like 3 days ago and they are already talking about marriage. Inda and Hakari, on the other hand, want to be all over Aiju as soon as possible, and they have to hold back the entire time. After a fun day of whatever they were doing with that tickling game, Aiju leaves. The girls are now alone and Inda decides to start a confrontation with Yoshimoto. It seems that there is some trouble in paradise. At first it seems like Inda is furious at Yoshimoto cause she is jealous, but actually she just wants Yoshimoto to be more forward. Inda explains that Yoshimoto should not hold back. She is as important as everyone in this weird relationship. Yoshimoto then starts to cry and she admits that she is very scared. She thinks Inda and Hakari are so much better than her and she feels like a waste of space. Inda and Hakari become emotional since Yoshimoto is just super cute and they boost her up and tell her to be amazing. Finally, Aiju returns to the rooftop and he realizes that his little girl tribe has gotten closer. Then Yoshimoto goes for the bold move. She tells Aiju that she wants to kiss him now. Aiju accepts this, and the two lock lips. Then Inda and Hikari join in the fun, and he kisses each and every one of them. Aiju is more like the Rizzler and Mirate. The girls are now super happy, and Aiju, well, he is just over the moon. Dude went from every girl throwing up at the sight of him, to now 3 babes fighting over him. It's a very intense time in school. There is a test very soon, and everyone is nervous. Aiju and his girls are able to pass the test even if Aiju kinda sucks at it. That is when Aiju is introduced to Ai, a long-haired blonde girl who sits alone and does not have any friends. Ai seems to be very cold and distant to everyone. She literally talks like an iBot. Aiju and Ai look at each other and the soulmate gaze begins to take effect. Aiju realizes that he is in love with this new girl, but she is still cold towards him. Even tells him that talking to him is a waste of time. Talking to this girl feels like you are literally flirting with ChatGPT, but somehow even more dry and robotic. During chemistry class, Aiju and Ai have to work together and Aiju gets a cut on his finger. Then the wildest thing happens. Ai takes his finger and sucks it right there in front of everyone. She tells him that it's better for his cut, but I think it's obvious. This girl is kinda wild. After that interaction, Aiju is all flustered while Ai remains cold. That is until she gets back home, then she starts to think more about Aiju and her emotions start to run wild. The following day at school, Aya decides to end their relationship before it starts. She wants to break his heart so that he leaves her alone. But she has fallen into Aiju's trap card. He is such a loser that rejection does not hurt him anymore. He can just power through it. Aiju tells Aya that he does not care about her rejection. He just wants to take her out on one date. If after that she wants to never see him again, he will agree with that. Aya accepts this offer and they set up a date. When the date arrives, Aiju feels a bit nervous. This is his first real date. At that moment, Ai shows up and she's in her casual clothes. This makes Aiju flustered right away, but Ai is all business. This girl showed up to a date like she was going to a business meeting. She is just there to get it over with. They decide to go to a carnival and they start to explore it. Aiju is like a golden retriever and Ai is like a black cat. They do not mix well when hanging out. Aiju is all happy all the time, taking photos and having fun while Ai roasts their every move. Girl is the definition of that actually meme. She knows all of the facts and has no sense of fun. Finally, they decide to go on a roller coaster and Ai for the first time shows emotions. She's actually afraid. Aiju then sits right by her side and holds her hand. She blushes actually. After their date is over, Aiju asks Ai if she got any fun. She confirms but also tells him that it was still a wasted day. She did not gain anything from it. Aiju decides to burn all the photos from their fun date. He accepts she does not care for him. In that moment, Aya grabs the photos and admits her feelings. She actually wants to date Aiju. After that, she starts to cry, like really sobbing. When she calms down, she jumps on Aiju and kisses him. It seems that another player has entered the harem chat. Now they've come to the most important chapter of any harem manga, the story arc that holds the biggest arcs and most emotional moments. We have come to the swimsuit arc. Yes, the girls all decide that they shall take Aiju to a pool date. This means they will all wear their swimsuit, which means this is heaven for Aiju. Ai has officially joined the girlfriend tribe and she is also very excited about this pool date. While Hikari and Ai are super hyped to show off their bodies, Inda Karain is a bit more shy. She does not feel confident at all. Picking out a bathing suit is hell for her. Finally, the day arrives and all the girls show up looking top tier. Karain shows up wearing a bathing suit, but she is covered up by a blanket. She is just that shy. Aiju goes swimming and Hikari and Ai join him. Hikari is flirting with Aiju to the max and wants him to feel her body. Ai gets jealous, so they start a competition. Basically, Aiju has to grab both of them. Aiju starts to lose blood from his brain cause the girl is just that horny. Finally, Aiju passes out from the shock and from the horniness. In the meantime, Karain is just chilling while Yoshimoto gets lost in the pool. Yoshimoto literally as a child cause this girl has minus brain capacity like Aiju is just on the other side of the pool and she is crying cause she is lost. While Hikari tries to bring back Aiju from his state, some weirdo guys arrive and start to harass the girls. The creepy dudes really find Ai and Hikari attractive and they want them for themselves. Hikari has to help Aiju recover from his shock. Ai decides to sacrifice herself and offers herself to the guys. She will hang out with them if they leave Hikari alone. In that moment, Aiju finally wakes up and starts hitting the creepy dudes. He then tells them that these are his girlfriends and they should back away. When the dudes don't believe he is dating both of the girls, Hikari and Ai start to make out with Aiju to prove him right. The creepy dudes just run away confused and scared. After this crisis is over, Aiju finds Yoshimoto who is still crying beside the pool. They then gives him a thank you kiss on the lips. Again, he was just on the other side of the pool. Girl, you were not that lost. Aiju then decides to speak with Karain and get her to be more relaxed. He actually takes off her blanket revealing her bathing suit. Aiju then tells her she has a great body and she should be more confident. The two then share a passionate kiss. Later in the day, Aiju and all of his girls have a party at the pool and it's a great time for all of them. One day, Aiju was walking by the chemistry class when he spots a very attractive girl with glasses. She is working on some sort of chemical experiment and Aiju feels himself falling in love. Still, he is busy, so he has to leave before he can meet the mysterious girl. The following day, Aiju decides to once again meet up with the girl, but this time it's not her, it's someone totally different. The tall and beautiful girl is now replaced with a short girl called Kusuri. This girl is straight up a drug dealer. She is obsessed with chemicals and potions, and she loves drugs. Aiju is totally taken aback, but Kusuri starts to show him some of her experiments. At first, Aiju wants to leave, but he does find Kusuri a bit cute. I mean, she is totally out of her mind. Aiju starts to feel a bit different, and he starts to confess his love to Kusuri. In that moment, Kusuri admits that she made a love potion for him, and he is now under her influence. She really wants to go on a date with him. Aiju tells her that he was going to ask her out without any potions and that he also likes her. At this point, Aiju could fart in a girl's direction, and she would love him forever and ever. When Aiju admits his feelings, Kusuri reveals that she was the tall and beautiful girl all along. That tall form was just an experiment she achieved with her drugs. Kusuri joins the crew, the harem to be exact. Aiju gathers all the girls and tells them that a new member is joining their party. This relationship is like a guild in World of Warcraft. The girls protect a bit, but Hakari is just happy nobody is breaking up with her. Finally, they all agree and the psycho drug dealer joins the relationship. Now Kusuri starts to wild out. She has a lot of crazy potions that she wants to test out, so she gives them to the girls. Kusuri tells the girls that she can even make their breasts bigger. Yoshimoto drinks a potion and she actually grows bunny ears. When Ie drinks the potion, it makes her hair come alive. She can literally control her hair like she is part of the Fantastic Four. With her new powers, she uses her hair to kiss Aiju. Soon the effects of these potions start to wear off, but Kusuri is not done. She then gives the girls a special drug she has been working on. This drug has a very interesting effect. It turns the girls into zombie-like creatures that only want kisses. Aiju is now scared out of his mind cause the girls are not stopping attacking him. Kusuri explains that the effects of this drug will last for an hour. Basically, it's Resident Evil, but the zombies want to kiss you. Kusuri and Aiju start running away from the girls. Kusuri tells Aiju that she has to make a drug that can stop the zombie kissing drug that has infected the other girls. Aiju starts to run away from the girls as fast as possible. He soon spots Yoshimoto running after him. She is just typing kiss over and over again while chasing after Aiju. Suddenly, Yoshimoto faceplants. She just falls down. Aiju cannot resist her since she is so cute, so he takes her to the medical bay where she can rest. The kissing drug is still in her system, so Yoshimoto jumps on Aiju and starts to passionately kiss him. They are now alone in the med bay and they are making out. Aiju realizes that it's getting too steamy, and he has to run away as fast as possible. After dealing with that, he is attacked by Hakari and Karain. They are chasing after him like they are hungry wolves on the hunt. The girls finally catch Aiju and jump on him. They start to kiss him at the same time, and he starts to lose oxygen. Aiju then comes up with a brilliant plan. He can just force the girls to kiss each other. Hakari and Karain start to kiss each other, and it gets steamy really fast, like they are not holding back. Aiju then runs away from them, but soon enough he is spotted by Ie. The danger is far from over. Ie starts to chase after Aiju. She is like a Terminator. Aiju then hides in a closet and Kusuri is also there. Kusuri starts to cry about how she ruined everything and how she will never develop drugs again. Aiju and her then come up with a plan. She will use her transformation drug to get out there while Aiju runs to safety. Kusuri will also try to develop an anti-drug for this kissing virus. Kusuri transforms into her tall and hot form, and Aiju starts to feel a bit awkward standing next to her. The plan begins and fails right away since Kusuri is not the brightest person. Aya ties her up and starts to chase after Aiju. Finally, Aiju is just too tired. He is not built for this. He falls down in a classroom and soon Aya finds him. She starts to make out with him so hard that he passes out. This is where our story ends. Our brave little Aiju died while getting kissed. Just kidding, he is alive and somehow Kusuri pulls through with an anti-serum. All the girls are back to normal in a few hours. Kusuri feels really sad about literally creating a zombie drug. The girls and Aiju forgive her and tell her she's part of their group forever. Aiju is also hilarious cause he tells Kusuri he loves her cooking up drugs and she should continue doing so. Aiju takes the girls to a flower park. There is also a special festival happening in the park. If the winner grabs some flying flowers, they can take their photos like a married couple. Aiju thinks that this will be a great experience for him and the girls, and they enter the festival competition. In the meantime, there is a biker gang also there, and they cause some problems for the festival. Some of the girls get into an argument with those bikers, and Karain goes crazy while having an argument. Finally, the time of the competition is here, and Aiju and his girls win. Hikari is then chosen to wear a wedding dress, but all the girls join in the photo. It's a very cute but weird moment when you remember this man is dating like 5 girls at the same time, and they all think they will marry his ass in a few years. After the photo session is over, Hikari thanks Aiju for the lovely time and tells him that he makes her life truly happy. Then she asks him one last request. Aiju is kind of confused by this, but hears her out. Suddenly, Hikari asks him if he will break up with her. Okay, did not see that coming at all. Aiju is totally confused. He cannot believe what Hikari asked him. He tries to call her, but she is not picking up. The other girls are also worried about her since she just left after the flower festival. Aiju decides to investigate. He finds some of her old photos and finds her address. Aiju goes to visit Hikari, and it's revealed she lives in a giant mansion that even has security guards. Aiju tries to get in, but he cannot. He then spots Hikari in her window. They call each other, and she explains the situation. Hikari told her mother about their relationship, and her mother is very, very protective. For that reason, Hikari will be moved to another town, and she will never see Aiju and the other girls. Aiju is shocked by this, and he promises to not give up and to get Hikari back. In that moment, we are introduced to her mom, and I gotta say, she's kinda bad. Hikari's mom is crazy hot, but also literally crazy. She thinks Hikari is her little flower and nobody can touch her. For that reason, the mother tells Aiju to leave and never come back. Aiju then tells the other girls about Hikari and her mother. He is determined to go and save her. Then the other girls also join his crusade. Hikari is part of their weird family, and they are getting her back no matter what. Aiju gathers all the girls, and now it's time for Mission Impossible. They have to get into this mansion and try to get back to Hikari without getting captured. Everyone is ready for the mission, and they get in front of the house. They are able to pass the fence, and they now have to run away from the security guards in the yard. Karain is super aggressive since she has a strong bond with Hikari and wants to get her back as fast as possible. When they enter the mansion, things go from bad to worse. It seems that there is a giant family dog in the house, and he is running after our group. The dog is super fast, and Yoshimoto decides to make the ultimate sacrifice. She just hits the floor and lets the dog attack her. The dog does not attack her since she is too cute, so it just starts to play with her and lick her. Soon the group reaches an empty hallway and uses the drugs made by Kusuri. These drugs give Aiju special eyes, and he can now see special lasers in the room. Now the group starts to panic cause this seems impossible. The crew is now really in danger, but they start to plan how to pass through the lasers. While Aiju is scared, he does not want to give up on Hikari. Him and Karain are able to pass through the lasers by combining their strengths and jumping over the complex laser gates. Finally, they reach Hikari. She is alone in her room, and she is looking over a photo album of her memories with Aiju and the girls. She starts to cry when she spots Aiju, but suddenly security guards arrive. They are now all captured, and Hikari is left in her room alone and locked up. Aiju and Karain are now finally standing in front of Hikari's mother. She is called Hahari. Hahari stands on her throne, and she is very cruel and cold. She tells Aiju that he is not welcome at all in her mansion. She tells Aiju that Hikari is her child, and she will forever stay here in the mansion, not dating anyone. Hahari then explains that she loved a man once but lost him very young. This was Hikari's father. Since then, Hahari does not believe in love, and she does not want Hikari to be hurt like that. Aiju and Hahari then have a moment. Somehow their eyes connect, and the soulmate moment happens. "You're telling me that this dude will have a mother and daughter in his harem?" Hahari starts to get emotional. She has not felt this feeling for quite some time. For some reason, she starts to fall in love with Aiju, and she begs him to take her out on a date. Aiju is totally confused, but she could be a good part of the harem. Still, after Aiju rejects her, Hahari gets angry once more and then tells him that he has to be part of a lie detector. The lie detector will also have to be something that Karain has to experience. Karain is the first one to go. She is asked about her feelings for Aiju. Karain starts to cry and confesses she loves him more than anything, and there are no lies. Aiju then has to be tested by the lie detector. He confesses his true love for Hikari, and there is no lie detected. Finally, it seems that Hahari is defeated, but still she does not want to let go of her daughter. Suddenly, the security guards arrive, and they inform everyone that Hikari is planning to jump out of her window. Aiju and his friends run to her room to finally save her. Hikari cannot believe that Aiju has come to save her. Hikari is now in tears. She does not believe that Aiju can save her. She thinks her entire life will be doomed. Aiju then tells her that they will be together forever. He will always love her, and nothing can change that. Hikari starts to calm down for the first time. She thinks that it's okay to calm down and get back inside. Suddenly, she feels herself slipping and falling. Aiju jumps in and tries to grab her, but it's too late. Aiju still does not let go, and he jumps after her. Aiju is able to cover Hikari up, and they both fall into the pool below. The other girls arrive to see if everything is okay, and thankfully, Aiju and Hikari are totally okay. Hahari arrives, and now she has changed her opinion. She is thankful for Aiju, and she believes he is the best person to protect her daughter. Hahari even bows down and thanks him. Aiju then grabs her hands and thanks her for her love confession. Now the girls are totally shocked. They are just learning that Harry actually tried to date Aiju. Okay, are we getting a MILF in this harem? Everyone is now super happy, and they decide to have a fun party at the bathhouse in Hahari's house. Hahari and Hikari are super happy with this new situation, and all the girls are chilling in the bathhouse. Aiju and Hahari get a bit spicy together, and they leave together in a room. It seems that they are going to get intimate really fast. The other girls notice that something is strange since Aiju and Hahari are gone. The girls get worried as they think that maybe Hahari will sleep with Aiju. Now the girls run after them and try to stop this situation before it can happen. When the girl enters the room, they find something shocking. Hahari and Aiju were not sleeping together, she just put him in the dress. Aiju is basically cross-dressing and Hahari wanted to have some fun with him. The girls now all join in and it's an entire circus. It turns into a great out-of-control pajama party for everyone. One thing we learn in this chapter is that both Hahari and Hikari are extreme perverts, and so are all the other girls. While Aiju is a respectful king and he does not want to spy on the girls while they are in the bath, they want to spy on Aiju. Aiju is in his private chambers and he is washing up. In the meantime, the girls create a whole Mission Impossible style of a plan to enter his room and see him naked. Kareem ropes in with some towels to see how Aiju is doing. She is helped by the other girls. By accident, this plan does not work and she scares Aiju. Aiju freaks out and thinks there are ghosts in this mansion. They try again and Yoshimoto this time enters his bath. She falls down into some water and again scares Aiju out of his mind. Aiju is now totally naked and Yoshimoto sees his private parts. Yoshimoto starts to bleed from her nose and he falls down like she is knocked out. Aiju then later scolds the girls and tells them it's not really nice to spy on people while they are naked. It's wild that the dude in this story is not the pervert, but the girls are actually perverts. Aiju and the girls decide to spend more time in the mansion. Aiju gets some alone time with Hahari and it's official that she is joining the harem. They go to a shrine to honor her late husband. Aiju then tells her she is wonderful and they kiss. Hahari finally lets go of her love towards her late husband. She is finally happy. Aiju is now satisfied. His group of girls is growing. They all lie together down. Aiju kisses Hahari and makes out with Hikari. This dude is the Riz master. He is literally dating a mother and daughter. That same night, Aiju wakes up and decides to walk around the house. Suddenly, he spots a man in the house. This man then runs at him and Aiju gets really scared. Soon enough, he realizes that this is the ghost of Hikari's father and Hahari's husband. Aiju explains that he loves his daughter and wife. The ghost of the husband thanks Aiju for freeing his family and giving them a new chance for love and life. The harem has now grown and our boy Aiju is now dating a lot of girls. One of them is a literal mom. One day something odd happens, the girls all switch bodies and they start to lose their minds. Aiju is super happy about it as he can now kiss the girls who now have totally different personalities. The girls are all acting in a different way and it's a very fun game. Aiju then explains that while he loves them having different bodies, he loves their original forms. They later return to their normal bodies and continue as always. Aiju is just chilling with his girls as they go explore the market. Soon enough, he gets separated and runs into a mysterious middle school student. This girl is a bit mean and scared. She is just there for some food and nothing more. Aiju tries to help her get some food, and while she loves the food, she gets angry and runs away soon after. Aiju and her have their soulmate connection, but Aiju has to learn more about her. The following day, Aiju arrives at her middle school and finds out more about the mysterious girl. It seems that this girl is really obsessed with food and she finds that eating is the best part of her day. Aiju decides to be nice cause he is just that awesome and he buys her some food. This girl loses her mind and while she tries to be all tough on the outside, she's actually really nice, especially when food is near. Finally, Aiju decides to prepare some food for her and he offers to give her food every time they hang out. The girl starts to get all emotional and shy, basically realizing that Aiju is offering to date her. Finally, we learn the name of the mysterious girl is Harema Kurumi. She introduces herself to Aiju and decides to spend more time with him. This dude went back into a middle school where he got no girls and got a middle school girl to join his harem. There is no stopping this man. Maybe the police will stop him, but not much else. Aiju arrives to talk with the other girls and he tells them that Harega Kurumi will be joining their ever-growing group. Again, this man is not building a harem, he is building a literal tribe. The girls all accept Kurumi, but Ei has a problem with this new deal. She explains that she loves Aiju, but she also loves all the girls. She is not sure that she likes this new girl Kurumi and wants to know why she should be added to their group. Kurumi gets mad at this and Aiju explains her situation. Basically, while everyone has something interesting to offer, Kurumi just kinda gets angry when she is hungry. The girls are not that impressed with her, but Aiju thinks she is great and wants her to stay. The group then decides that they should enter into a food-eating competition. A festival is happening nearby, so they should go right away. When they arrive at the festival, they find that there are a lot of people there and many other competitors. Aiju and Kurumi decide to join the tournament, and they start eating. Aiju also loves eating, but Kurumi is on a whole other level. Eating for her is like a religion. All the other girls are impressed as they have never seen someone eat like her. After a few rounds, Aiju and Kurumi go the distance. They are doing really good in the tournament. Soon they find out that there is someone very scary who is also part of the tournament. It's that Japanese biker gang who came to the flower festival. All members of this gang look like they eat bowls for breakfast, so this is going to be a hard challenge. The competition begins, and it's difficult right away. It seems that the enemy team is doing really good. The leader is a giant person who can eat literally anything with no problem. Kurumi is also joined by the other girls from the harem. They are all trying to win the competition. The fight is insane as they eat more and more food. Basically, they are eating so much food they can barely open their eyes after some time. Aiju realizes that the girls are slowly getting sick. Kurumi can still go no problem, but the other girls are getting tired. There is just too much food. Still, the girls do not want to disappoint Aiju, so they keep eating, even using some of the secret drugs to last longer. After a while, they are unable to eat anymore and they fall into a food coma. Aiju is really worried about them, so he starts to pet their stomachs so that they do not throw up. Kurumi is still determined to win as we enter the final round of the eating festival. Aiju tells Kurumi that he also cannot keep going. He is too tired and he feels like he's going to vomit. The giant enemy is still ready to go. They have not stopped eating. Soon we find out that this person from the enemy team is actually cheating. They have a giant dress on, but beneath it all there is a device that takes in food. This is why they are so good at this competition. Kurumi is determined to win the entire tournament on her own. So begins the final round. They are both eating tons and tons of ramen noodles. Kurumi is fighting back her urge to vomit as she eats even more food. In that moment, the other girls try to help her out, but soon they all fall back into a food coma. They can all throw up any moment now. Kurumi is now fighting back her urge to give up as she eats even more food. In the last moments of the fight, Aiju arrives and helps her eat the final bites of ramen. The people from the enemy squad start to throw up and they lose. Aiju and his girls win another game. The girls also start to respect Kurumi and they praise her. Kurumi feels super safe with the girls and they form a bond, finally accepting her. A few hours later, Kurumi and Aiju share their first kiss. Now she's officially a member of this giant weird relationship. Hahari has officially lost her mind. While she was once stern and cold, she is a totally softie and she wants to be everyone's mommy now. Yes, that sounds as weird as it is. Hahari is jumping around all the girls, especially Hikari, and wants them to be her babies. She even makes a diaper for Aiju to wear. Hikari gets mad at her mother and they get into a wild argument. Most of the argument is them just screaming at each other. In that moment, Kusuri is mixing up her new drug when it accidentally falls to the ground. When the drug hits the ground, it creates a giant explosion. Aiju jumps on Hikari to shield her from the smoke, but the other girls get trapped. Moments later, Aiju and Hikari realize that all the girls have now turned into little babies. Aiju has no idea what is happening, but he knows they have to protect these babies. Yeah, this manga has lost the plot a while ago. Now it's just insanity. Aiju and Hikari decide to take care of the babies and they kinda love it. They love being parents. Hikari does get attacked by all the babies since they want her boobs. Somehow it's both horny and sweet, but mostly just weird. That's basically this entire manga. Aiju likes being a father, but soon enough the babies turn back into their normal forms. After having some experience with children, Hikari changes her opinion about her mother and they make up. That is until Hikari comes up with an idea to put everyone in diapers. Kusuri is doing her wild experiments and things get pretty weird on the school rooftop. If anyone from the high school came up to this rooftop and saw what these people were doing there, they would freak out totally. Aiju is in his swimsuit pants. The girls are all acting weird and somehow Kusuri and her drugs are in the middle of the entire mess. Basically everyone is acting wild. Kusuri even thinks they are all in a fairy tale. At one point, Kusuri decides to use her special drugs and she changes into her tall form and starts to attack the girls with her boobs. Aiju is finally able to calm her down and they kiss. Again in this chapter, everyone is just losing their minds for the most part, while Aiju is just smiling all the time. Dude is happy no matter the chaos his girls make. Madomaya is a helper who works for Hahari, and somehow she spawns on the rooftop to bring some tea to her master. Mado is a very strange person. She does not open her eyes at all, and she is called the Smiling Maid, and you guessed it, it's because she is constantly smiling for no reason. The other girls start to praise each other and how beautiful their eyes are. Soon they turn to Mado, who never opens her eyes. The girls being the lunatics that they are planned to open her eyes with chemical devices, special tools, and various other crazy plans. Aiju is very curious about Mado as she seems ultra nice and kind. Hahari tells Mado that she can talk and act relaxed, but Mado only wants to serve others. Her entire life she has been a maid, so she does not know how to act like a regular girl. Aiju then comes up with an idea. He is going to quiz Mado and try to make her laugh and open her eyes. He has tried this several times with the other girls and it always works. He starts the quiz, and since he is the Rizzler, it actually works. For a moment, Mado opens her eyes and the soulmate gaze hits once again. She only has her eyes open for a few seconds, but she falls in love with Aiju. Aiju also comments on how lovely she is and that they should go on a date together. Aiju and Mado agree on a date. It is a bit strange since Mado acts like a servant at all times. She even picks up Aiju and she is still wearing her maid outfit. Mado drives Aiju and asks him where he wants to go for their date. Aiju tries to talk with Mado and get her to decide, but she either wants to go and clean Hahara's mansion or clean Aiju's house. This girl does not know anything else but cleaning and serving. Finally, Aiju decides they will have a picnic date. Mado just wants to follow orders, so she will literally do anything he commands her to. Aiju starts to think really dirty thoughts but manages to control himself and remain honorable. He tells her to go pick up some cherry blossoms and she listens. Maeva straight up acts like a puppy. Aiju then tries to explain to her that she does not have to follow all orders and she can be free. Mado does not understand this, but Aiju tries to prove how normal life is actually great. Not everything has to be about serving her master. Mado is able to relax and accept this, but she tells Aiju that she wants to go on more dates with him. Aiju happily accepts, and I think it's obvious another girl is getting added to the ever-growing harem. Aiju once again introduces a new girl to his club. He tells his girlfriends that Mado should join their group. AI makes a funny comment about this constantly happening. Still, the girls are super happy to have another member. They actually want to celebrate Mado's arrival, so they all dress up in maid outfits. Aiju even dresses up as a butler. The girls then come up with a party idea. They will all have a fight with water guns, and the last person who does not get wet has to kiss Aiju. In all scenarios, Aiju wins, so he loves this idea. He not only watches girlfriends get wet, but he also gets a makeout session after the whole thing is done. The battle begins, and all the girls are taking it way too seriously. They are doing Matrix moves, flipping, jumping, and shooting like they are in a Michael Bay movie. Mado still has her eyes closed, but she is taking down people left and right with no problem. Finally, Hikari takes her mother Hahara hostage and wants Mado to give up. Hahara then takes the water gun and shoots herself in the head so that Mado can win the final duel. The Soaking Maid party finally finishes and Mado is crowned winner. Mado and Aiju share their first passionate kiss, and now she is officially a member. Sudo is a girl who is part of the baseball team. She is really hardcore about the whole thing. Aiju meets her one day while she is inviting people to join the baseball club. Of course, the soulmate gaze activates and the two develop massive crushes on each other the second they spot each other. Sudo explains that if she does not get 8 members in the baseball club, it will shut down. This only happens in manga, never in real life. School clubs don't work like that at all, lol. Aiju also explains that he would like to help her with the club, and Sudo proves herself to be really insane. It seems that she has a fetish for pain. She loves falling down and getting hit. She actually asks Aiju to hit her with a baseball bat in her stomach. Aiju is like, damn, all my girlfriends are insane, but this one is way too much. That same day, Sudo realizes that she has fallen in love with Aiju, but she also spots him holding hands with one of his girlfriends. After school, she confronts him, directly asking him out on a date. Aiju explains that he cannot, he has 8 other girlfriends already. Still, Aiju would like to add another. Aiju decides to break the news to the girls. He introduces them to Suto. Even the girls are a bit confused. He seems to be adding way too many girls in the last chapters. Rose on a roll, he just keeps adding. It's okay, man, you are dating these girls, not building an army. Chill out. Still, since the girls are all super wholesome, they accept Suto. Aiju tells them that she loves baseball and also loves pain, which gives some girls the idea of just starting to hit her with no reason. Sudo is glad that she is welcomed by the girls, but she also explains her situation with the baseball team. They will get shut down if there are no more members. Aiju convinces all the girls to join the baseball club and start training. The girls all get into their cute training outfits and they start playing baseball for the first time. Soon enough, most of them realize how difficult this sport really is and how challenging the work is. Still, they are determined to get better so they can win their first match. Sudo is happy that someone is finally helping her. Aiju and his girls continue training, but it's very rough. They are not experienced and the games are super hard. Still, they all agree that they must win this upcoming match against a rival high school team. Finally, the day of the match arrives and some of the girls get sick. Still, Aiju and the remaining players are determined to win no matter what. The game begins and they are introduced to the enemy team. They are all kind of horrible people who like to cheat and are ruthless. There is especially one mean player. She literally has a face of a lizard person for some reason. The game begins and our girls start to lose badly. It seems that the rival high school is just that much better. Still, Aiju and Sudo are able to hold down the game so that they do not lose by so many points. They keep fighting no matter what. Some girls even get injured during the game. Sudo does not want to disappoint her new team no matter what. Aiju and his girls are able to slowly come back. They realize what kind of tactic their rivals are using and finally they go on the counterattack. While they were losing many points before, they are now only losing by 3 points. Still, there is not a lot of time left in the game, and it's all up to Aiju, who is catching the ball, and Sutu, who is now hitting the ball. It's a very intense moment, and Sutu has to be uber focused. A home run is the only way they can win this. That means hitting the ball as hard as possible so it flies far away. Sutu manages to gather all her strength, and as the ball comes flying towards her, she literally rips all her clothes because of the insane power of the hit. Sutu is able to hit the ball very far away, and now Aiju has to catch it before the enemy team. Aiju stands there, and even his clothes get ripped because of the powerful blast, but he's able to catch the ball. The match is over, and Aiju and his girls win the game. Sutu jumps on Aiju and kisses him. She then tells him she truly loves him. "Girl, you just met 24 hours ago. Calm down, please." Aiju is now dating 9 girls at the same time. It has to be some kind of record, even for old warlords that had harems. We see the girls hanging out at the school rooftop talking about how amazing Aiju really is. Sutu explains that she told him how much she loves him and that he is perfect. Then the other girls also start thinking about telling Aiju how much they love him all. When Aiju arrives at the rooftop, things get crazy. All the girls start to jump on him and telling him how much they love him. Aiju, being the emotional guy he is, starts to cry hearing every girl. This goes on for a very long time, since literally 9 girls have to tell him they love him all at the same time. Aiju then tells all the girls that he loves them very much and that he wants to spend the rest of his life with them. It seems that his harem is now one big family, and I am sure it's going to grow even more. Aiju and his 9 girlfriends go to the karaoke bar. Since there's a lot of them, they need their own separate room and a giant table. All the girls start to sing, and it's a great party. Aiju no longer needs to go to parties. He literally brings the party with him since he has a whole platoon of girlfriends. Yoshimoto, on the other hand, is pretty nervous, and she does not want to show off her singing voice. Yoshimoto does not like to normally speak, so she's not really in the mood to sing. She does see that the other girls are having a fun time, but she is really nervous about the whole thing. Yoshimoto tries to confide in Aiju, and he offers his full support. Finally, after some time and convincing, Yoshimoto decides to sing, and it's so cute that the other people in the room just go flying. All the girls are so emotional since her singing voice is almost as cute as she is. Aiju joins her, and they sing a duet together, making it even more adorable. Aiju goes to an art museum, and there he spots some wonderful statues. He remembers how beautiful his girlfriends are, and in that moment, he spots another woman standing there beside him. Insert that "oh shit, here we go again" GTA meme. This girl is beyond beautiful, and she knows it. It's kinda her entire personality. We are introduced to Mimimi, a tall blonde that thinks she is literally a goddess. Mimimi explains that she is the most beautiful woman ever, and while the soulmate gaze does activate, she does not think Aiju is still worthy to be her partner. For that reason, she gives him a makeover. She makes his hair all nice and blonde and also gives him a new outfit. Finally, she agrees to go on a date with Aiju. Aiju does not feel too comfortable, but he does like Mimimi, so he wants to spend time with her. While they are at the coffee shop, a creepy guy notices Mimimi and decides to spill some drinks on her to embarrass her. In that moment, Aiju plays the hero and shields Mimimi from the drink. Mimimi starts to feel real feelings about Aiju and considers joining his ever-growing harem. That is until she finds out that Ei is part of the harem. Ei is the only girl that has ever embarrassed Mimimi and that other people think is more beautiful. It seems that a great war between the girls is approaching. We learn the backstory of Mimimi and Ei. It seems that they were friends in the past. Well, Mimimi wanted to be friends with Ei. That one day there was a beauty competition and Ei won. Mimimi was very sad, but she was heartbroken when Ei just left and said friendships mean nothing to her. This made Mimimi obsessed and angry. Now in the present, their confrontation begins, and both girls get into a giant heated argument on the school rooftop. Aiju tries to help both girls calm down and make peace. Finally, it happens. Ei admits to her mistake and she apologizes. Ai explains that she feels very sorry for what she did in the past, and now she would love to be friends with Mimimi. This makes Mimimi really emotional, and she cries while finally having a handshake of peace with Ei. Mimimi is now officially asked to join the group. Like always, really regularly now, Aiju asks the other girls if she can join. Of course, the girls accept her, but Mimimi wants to make some edits to the group. She wants them to be uber beautiful like her, so she comes up with an idea of a makeover. Since whoever is writing this manga is totally insane, this episode goes from being a makeover to all the girls getting some sort of hormone drug into their system. This drug makes them horny, even more horny than always. This causes them all to throw themselves at Aiju and kiss him. Basically, all the girls are losing their minds and taking off their clothes, especially Hahari and Hakari. That mother and daughter combo is pure insanity and horniness. Finally, the author remembers that this was supposed to be a makeover episode, so the girls look stunning and Aiju takes the form of a Greek statue, since he is also, I guess, in his beauty era. It's very difficult to explain, and it's obvious the authors of this story are just losing their minds at this point. Now we bring you the totally now normal hairstyling chapter, where nothing out of the ordinary happens. It's just girls having fun with their hair. Oh wait. The chapter begins with a couple of scientists talking about the literal sun burning out and losing power. This means that Earth and everyone on it will die. Okay, a totally normal start to this storyline. In the meantime, Aiju and his girls are having fun on their signature rooftop. Ahari decides that all the girls should change up their hair and she can help. She reveals that she took some of the special drugs and combined them with another kind. This was a secret project that Kyusher has been working on. Everyone starts to panic as Ahari loses control of her hair. She literally turns into a giant hair monster and starts to spread everywhere. Aiju and the rest of the girls start to run, but some of them are captured. Of course, they are attacked in the most lewd, hentai way possible, with the hairs stretching their bodies in weird positions. In the meantime, Aiju and the survivors start to run away from the school as the hairs spread all over the city. Is this really the end of the world in this manga? If you thought that the previous chapter was crazy, you have not seen nothing yet. So basically, not only does the entire city get covered by the giant hair, but the entire world is covered by the hair. People start to panic all around. There are helicopters in the sky, and when they try to attack the hair, it attacks them back. The hair is super powerful and is able to take down any machine that attacks it. Aiju and the remaining girls start to plan a solution. Aiju knows he has to stop the hair from taking over everything. He then decides that the only solution is to go to the center and try to save Hari and help her stop the hair. In the meantime, we see Hari. She is in the middle of everything. It's like there is this giant hair monster all around her and it's consuming everything. Inside, Hari feels sorry for everything she has done and she hopes her friends forgive her. Aiju jumps out of a helicopter, Tom Cruise style, and leaps straight into the giant hair vortex. There he once again meets the ghost of Hari's late husband who allows him free passage. Aiju then kisses Hari and tells her that it's okay to let go of her pain and past. Finally, the hair is able to stop growing and it flies into space. The following day, we see Hari in bed and Aiju comes to visit her. She is watching the news and it turns out that the hair did not hurt anyone and it actually saved humanity. So check this out, the hair flew out in space and helped the sunburn again. It's literally saved the entire human race. Aiju tells Hari that she is a hero and she cries. Again, let me remind you, this was a hairstyling arc and it ended with a giant hair monster flying into space and saving the sun and earth. Kurumi has been spending some time away from the group. Usually the entire group gathers on the roof to eat lunch, but Kurumi has not been coming lately. Aiju and the other girls are worried about her, so they decide to find out what is really going on. Kurumi is at first rude to them, but finally she answers what has been happening. Kurumi reveals that she has the need to French kiss and that this is too embarrassing for her. Kurumi wants to French kiss Aiju, but she does not want to take it away from the other girls, since this is a very lewd act. Hari offers herself to kiss Kurumi, but she rejects her. Finally, Aiju decides they should go on a date together and try it out. After eating some delicious food, they go into the room and start kissing. Soon the lights go out and they start fully French kissing, tongue and all. But there is an insane twist. As always, Kurumi is actually kissing Hari in a suit, but they are just using a projector to make it seem like it's Aiju. Yes, it sounds insane because it literally is insane. Hari actually French kissed one of the girls already, so to make sure none of them are left out, she actually kissed Hikari, her own daughter. I need the police to enter the scene at some point cause this is way too wild. Finally, Kurumi finds out that all the other girls are there to support her, and they are once again one big happy family. Now could Aiju just kiss Kurumi and get it over with? Sure, but that would be too normal. A new challenger approaches. We are introduced to Kakure. She's a pretty attractive girl with bangs. She goes to the same school as Aiju, but they have not interacted so far. Well, that is about to change. While all the other girls are working out on the roof, Aiju meets Kakure for the first time, where some wind almost blows away her hair bangs. Kakure is more worried about her bangs getting ruined than her panties being seen by the wind. Aiju being the hero, he jumps on her to save her. Kakure then explains that she is just a background character and she is too shy for any connection. Aiju starts to follow her around, but there is one problem. She literally moves like the Flash. Kakure, whenever she gets shy and awkward, just disappears. Every time Aiju tries to talk to her, it's like Batman. She's gone in the shadows in seconds. While Kakure avoids Aiju, she does fall in love with him. Of course, they had one interaction, and as Dua Lipa once said, that's all it takes. Kakure admits that she likes to knit plushie toys, and she even writes Aiju a letter. When he tries to confess his feelings, she disappears once more, but he chases her around the classroom. Their love confession turns into a shonen fight. Finally, he is able to corner her and tells her they should date. And the shocking reveal happens. Kakure might have giant bangs, but she also has giant boobs, which is relevant to a very horny group. Kakure is introduced into the group as the 10th edition girl. She is very shy, but she gives plushie toys she created to the girls, so they pretty quickly accept her. Aiju decides that they should all play a game of hide and seek, and whoever wins gets to kiss him. Again, this man wins whenever happens. All the girls run around the school and the game quickly turns into chaos. Some of the girls have to hide together and this leads to some pretty lewd and insane scenarios. One of the girls even bites Harry on her giant breasts. I love how the authors have to find some horny material even in the most mundane situations. Finally, since Kakura literally moves like a ninja, she wins the game and now has to kiss Aiju. Still, Kakura is way too shy to kiss someone, so Aiju surprises her with a kiss. Even before Aiju can react, Kakura's gone. She literally runs away from the embarrassment. Mai, the maid, has been acting odd lately. It's like she is planning something. She's usually really quiet, but lately she's been even more quiet. Finally, Aiju and the girls ask her what is happening and Mai explains. Mai was found in the streets all alone by Harry. Harry took her in and gave her a new life. Mai has been paying off that debt her entire life. She just feels so grateful. Both Harry and Hikari tell Mai that there is no doubt and she should relax. Still, Mai wants to do something really special for Harry. Aiju offers himself to help her, so they go on a date to find the perfect present. Mai really does not know how to buy something for a person. She is confused and often thinks she should just give up her organs as the present. Aiju has to help her, so they go all over various stores to find the perfect gift. Mai then finally figures out what is the perfect gift for Harry. The perfect gift is a fashion show with Aiju cross-dressing. Harry loses her mind and she has a lot of fun with Aiju. At one point, to thank Mai for the great gift, Harry makes out with her. At this point, every single girl here has kissed the other girls. Finally, Mai gives a special gift to Aiju and the two passionately kiss. Karain, the tsundere of the group, always finds something to complain about. She is constantly angry, even if she is lovable. Still, whenever the rest of the group is having fun, she is on the side. Inside, Karain really wants to be like the other girls, but she is just too much of a tsundere. In this world, there is no character progression. She just is a tsundere forever and ever. One day, Aiju brings over some heart-shaped gifts for the other girls, and when he gives the gift to Karain, she takes it, but is all sarcastic about it. Karain notices that the drug girl has made a new potion. This one seems a bit different than the previous ones. While the others are celebrating and having fun on the roof, Karain takes the potion. She then changes her personality totally. She is a totally different person now. She is lovable, cute, emotional, and acts all girly. Basically, she is no longer a tsundere. It seems that Karain drank an anti-tsundere potion, and now she is stuck like this. Aiju and the girls like this new Karain, but they want her to be normal once again. Finally, they are able to cook up a new potion to stop this anti-tsundere one. That is when Karain admits that she does not want to turn back into her old self. Aiju takes Karain for a walk and tells her that her tsundere form is fantastic and he fell in love with that version of her, and she does not need to change. It's very clear that our boy Aiju loves them crazy and out of control. Karain gets all emotional, and she demands to be turned back. She wants to be her original self again. All the girls gather on the roof and Karain drinks the potion, but for some reason it does not work. She is not a tsundere anymore, and she's acting all girly. Aiju and the other girls come up with a new plan. Maybe they have to create an awkward and intimate situation for Karain to awaken her tsundere side. This plan is started by Aiju and Hikari. They sit down with Karain on the bed and start the process. These are the original two girlfriends, so they are the closest. Hikari thinks that Aiju has to grab Karain's breasts to activate that tsundere part of her. When he does, it does not work. It seems that Hikari is just horny and wanted everyone to touch each other's breasts. Later, Hikari tries to seduce Karain while they are in the bath. This leads to a very steamy moment that causes Karain to bleed out of her nose. It seems that no plan is working. They just cannot bring back Karain into her original tsundere form. Finally, Aiju comes up with the most insane plan ever. All the girls should drink the tsundere potion, and it should create a spirit bomb reaction where Karain will absorb that power. Again, the manga writers on this story are just smoking weed and writing nonsense at this point. All the girls start to drink the tsundere potion and their personalities change. They are now mean and they hide their emotions. Every one of them has an emotional outburst and yells at Aiju, is acting like Goku and collecting their tsundere juices into a giant spirit bomb. The girls all feel very exhausted after the experiment, but it starts to work. Aiju is collecting all of their insane tsundere energy into one giant final blast. This manga literally turned into Dragon Ball for no reason at all. Finally, Aiju fires this tsundere blast at Karain. At first, it seems like it did not work, but soon they realize that Karain is back to her tsundere self. All is right with the world. Aiju goes to visit his uncle. He is supposed to take care of his younger cousin while his uncle is away. Aiju is certain that this time the soulmate gaze will not activate. When he opens the door, a little girl is there. Her name is Chio. She is not yet going to middle school. She is also literally cousins with Aiju, so there is no way they are going to make her part of the harem, right? Of course they are. The moment they spot each other, Chio falls madly in love with her literal cousin, cause of course she does. Aiju is supposed to take care of Chio for the day, but she seems to be very responsible, so she takes care of him. She is like a little machine. She has instructions for how people should act, and she is all about the rules. Still, she seems to like Aiju and he likes her. Soon the uncle arrives and it's revealed that this day was actually a setup for them. He wanted them to date. Okay, so the police should be coming any moment now, guys. Aiju invites Chio into his harem of 10 girlfriends. Really, dude, you could skip your cousin. She just had to join. Chio arrives at the rooftop and Aiju introduces her to the other girls. Even Harry, who is a world-class perv, is a bit confused. This dude wants to date his younger cousin. Like, what are we doing here? Still, Harry only cares about apparent approval, and when she finds out the uncle wants this relationship, she is also cool with it. Chio starts to terrorize the other girls. She wants them to do a makeover, to act totally different. Basically, she is that annoying cousin you avoid at family dinners. Instead of that, Aiju decided to literally date her for some reason. Because the girls are all super nice, they eventually accept Chio as part of their insane, and now also illegal family. Now that Chio has joined the group, I am sure it's all going to go great. Well, up in this chapter, Chio decides that no more kissing is allowed on the school rooftop. You see, Chio is a very big fan of rules, and she thinks that school is a place of learning. So one day when she catches literally 11 girls jumping on Aiju and kissing him, she stops the whole thing. Since then, there has been no kissing at school and the girls are suffering. All of them are beyond horny and they miss kissing Aiju. They cannot even think straight during class. Even EI is just writing her formulas and then writing kiss as a solution. They will not be able to hold out for much longer if this keeps going. Finally, Hikari comes up with an idea and Chio has to kiss Aiju. When she kisses him, she will not be able to resist no matter what. Chio is a literal child who just started junior high school, so she does not want to kiss him. The other girls start to cry as they realize no more makeout sessions during school. The depression is hitting them. Finally, Chio decides to kiss, but she takes the zombie kissing drug and loses her mind. Now the other girls try to stop her, but by accident some of the drug gets into their system. So now you have Aiju trying to run away and all the girls making out with each other. Finally, Chio is able to calm down and the other girls return to normal. Chio decides that it's time to kiss, so she does kiss Aiju, her literal cousin. Holy shit, what is happening right now? I did not know this was a Sweet Home Alabama type of story. Now that the kissing season is officially open, all the other girls jump on Aiju and they kiss for hours. Dude has to kiss 12 girls at the same time, suffering from success, I guess. Minus the cousin part. Kakira is having issues at school. We all know she is uber shy, and there is this one reporter at school who really wants to take her photo. Kakira is so fast that nobody has a photo of her, so this reporter is now basically hunting her down trying to snap a picture. Kakira is very afraid and she confides in Mimimi. Mimimi is the polar opposite. She is confident and wants to show off her beauty. Kakira tries to get some advice from Mimimi and the rest of the girls. Aiju gets also involved and Harry decides to talk with the reporter. Harry tries to blackmail the reporter to scare her, but it does not work. The reporter is still hunting down Kakira and she is not stopping before she gets that photo. Aiju gets so mad that he plans to burn down the school newspaper offices. Kakira then once more talks with the other girls and Mimimi gives her a confidence boost. Mimimi explains that Kakira is very special and she should not always hide, but still she's going to help her protect herself from the reporter. Mimimi and Kakira are walking together in the school hallways when the reporter shows up. This time, Mimimi protects Kakira by jumping into every photo. She loves others admiring her beauty. This gives Kakira enough time to escape like the Flash. Aiju and the girls are chilling on the roof. It's actually very funny to see them together cause there are many of them now on the roof. Soon enough they are going to have to switch locations, maybe an army base or a bunker somewhere. Aiju is really tired, so he is not really playing with the girls. The girls then offer their laps for him. He can put his head down and rest for a bit. Every girl thinks she is the best, and now Aiju has to choose, and that hurts his soul. Aiju would love to test out every lap, and so he does. He first puts his head into Mimimi's lap, and his heart starts to race. She is just too hot. Then he tries with EI, and they just sit beside each other. She is too boring. He goes from girl to girl and tests them all out, and they are all kinda great. Harry of course loves this cause she can now do her whole mommy fetish thing where she takes care of him. Finally, Aiju decides that the girls will all gather around him and let him sleep. It looks like our bro literally died and it's his funeral. Still, the girls love the idea as they can now all share him at the same time. Aiju and the other girls talk about their teacher for Japanese. It seems they got a giant payout and are gone. Now a new teacher will arrive to replace them. Suddenly the teacher arrives and she is very different than expected. Her name is Natty and she literally arrives in a slutty cowboy outfit. Natty introduces herself as someone from America and she is a cowboy. Natty seems insane and loud and she is here to take over the teaching position. Aiju is shocked to see her and she seems very strange. Of course, the moment they lock eyes, their connection starts. After class, Natty invites Aiju to join her for some extra classes. This is of course an excuse to seduce him and jump all over Aiju. Aiju is shocked at first since his teacher just went from teaching him a lesson to locking lips with him in a matter of seconds. Natty seems to be extra horny, like more than the other girls, and she's ready to get down right away. Aiju is able to calm her down, and soon he notices something strange. It's like she's pretending to be American. In that moment, Aiju realizes that Natty is not even American at all. Girl is busted, and soon we learn that her real name is Yamato Nerishiko. She's a Japanese girl who really loves the US. She really loves their movies, music, and culture. Yamato always wanted to live in America, but she is too scared, so now she's just pretending. Aiju decides to keep her secret and, of course, add her to his ever-growing harem. Natty still wants to keep everyone believing she is American, so she talks like she is from Alabama and acts like she is in an old Clint Eastwood movie at all times. This girl is just missing revolvers, and she would be a full-blown cowgirl. So the girls accept her, and the army grows once more. Natty loves the girls but wants them to have a bit more style. She decides that all the girls will get to point out their own outfit and make them. She wants everyone to be super unique. The girls love this idea, and it's heaven for Aiju, who gets to see his girls cosplay. Finally, they all make their new outfits and present them. Each one of them now looks beyond insane. Even Aiju has a new costume, and it's hilarious. Dude is dressed like Luffy from One Piece. Some of the girls just went full-blown horny mode, especially Hari. She literally dressed like a slutty schoolgirl. Some of the girls dressed like puppies in cute dresses and in insane sports outfits. All along, the group became a lot more colorful. EQ, the crazy baseball-loving tomboy of the group, really wants to go see a movie. She talks with Aiju and the other girls about the plan, but the other girls are not that interested. Finally, Aiju accepts, and it's just them two on a solo date. This makes Iku very nervous. She is a totally tomboy and does not know how to act on dates. Iku puts on her mother's dress and gets ready. The date goes great. They go watch a crazy horror movie since Iku is obsessed with pain and suffering. Again, totally normal girl. After the movie is over, they find a baseball spot where others are practicing. They join some other people there, and it turns into a competition. Aiju really wants to impress Iku since she is always so badass and strong in all sports. They are able to play some really good matches, and Aiju is actually impressive with the bat. Still, Iku gets into a heated argument with another girl there, but she solves it pretty fast. After that, Aiju tells Iku that he loves her tomboy energy. She then picks him up like he is a bride and makes out with him. Chiyo, Yoshimoto, and Kusari all join Aiju on a shopping date. Again, let me remind you, Chiyo is his literal cousin and a lot younger than him, and the other girls go to high school that look like literal children. Okay, let's continue after I have reminded you of that creepy factor. So Aiju takes his girlfriends on a shopping date. They go around town to various stores and have some fun. Yoshimoto really wants to read books, and Chiyo wants to spend time with Yoshimoto since they seem to have started a sisterly bond. Kusari is also there, and she is just insane as always, preparing various drugs and potions. At the end of their shopping date, some dudes show up and get into an argument with the girls. Aiju shows up pretty fast and just beats them up cause nobody messes with his children, his girlfriends. Ahari decides to organize a special festival in the school. She really wants to do something special for the girls and Aiju. The festival will be really giant, and everyone will be involved with a special talent show. Aiju and the girls decide that they should become idols and sing on the talent show. Aiju will not be part of the group, of course, but he will cheer for his girls. The girls are super hyped about the idea, but they first have to do a lot of dance training. All the girls start to go to a special dance building where they train all day, every day. It's very difficult to memorize all the dance moves and routines. Some of the younger girls are having a bit of a hard time. The trainer even tells some of them that they should not be in the competition and that they should all give up. The other older girls do not want this to happen. They want everyone to be part of this performance. The girls continue training, working hard every day until their routine is almost perfect. Now it's just time to perform at the festival. The day of the festival arrives, and there's a lot of people there. Even that weird uncle shows up who literally wanted to set up two cousins on a date. The uncle actually brought dolls of Aiju so that the girls can see multiple versions of their boyfriend cheering for them and not get nervous. Aiju is super excited for his girls. They all look really cute and are ready for the performance. Finally, it arrives time for them to get up on stage, and they start. Aiju is in the crowd, and he just has tears of joy. He is loving every minute of it. The other people are also loving it, as it seems the girls have really perfected their routine. After the performance is done, Aiju comes to hug all of them, and it's a great moment. Soon after, there is some breaking news. It seems that an idol producer is in the crowd, and he wants to meet with the girls. When the girls go into the meeting, we are introduced to the producer with the goofiest name ever. He is called Jesus Nakai. Yes, he is called Jesus, you heard that right. Jesus tells the girls that he is going to perform a miracle and get them on an even bigger stage. Some time passes, and we see that Aiju is going to a gardening class. It's really peaceful there, and you can have some quiet time there. I give you 3 guesses what happens in this class. If any of your guesses was Aiju meets a new girl to add to the harem, then you are absolutely correct. While doing some gardening, Aiju is introduced to a girl called Yasashiki. She seems to be a nature lover who really loves to spend time in her gardens. She even has animals all around her. It's like she's Tarzan or something. Aiju really likes her since she is nice and kind and also really knows her way around a garden. The two spend an entire day together and they bond. Later, the vice principal arrives and starts to cause a mess in the garden. At one moment, she creates such a mess that mud goes flying all over. Aiju jumps in front of Yasushiki and protects her from the mud. This is the first time someone has protected her in this way. She always protects animals and plants, and now someone is taking care of her. Yasushiki falls in love with Aiju at the spot, and he invites her into his harem. He does tell her that he already has 13 girlfriends, but she does not mind. Yasushiki joins the harem, and we realize something very interesting. She is really tall, like a lot taller than the other girls. She is even taller than Aiju, so he has to look up to her like a toddler. Yasushiki also loves the other girls and plays around with them, even creating special flower crowns. Later, she also lets them into her garden, and they all have a special and fun day there. The girls love the garden, and some of them want to even stay there forever. Yasushiki also teaches them how to properly tend to the flowers and vegetables. Aiju tries to flirt with her numerous times, but she is just too tall. Bro is a short king. It's a painful struggle. We are all praying for him. Finally, they have a moment alone, and Aiju thanks her for a wonderful day. They have a little romantic moment, and she bends down for a kiss. Girl has to bend down to kiss this man. That's embarrassing. Soon, all the other girls attack and start jumping on him and kissing Aiju. It looks like a scene from Attack on Titan. The girls all come up with an idea for a slumber party where they eat potluck foods. This is basically a game where they all bring secret items to the hangout and have to eat them no matter what. Somehow the party turns horny like always and they start to get all bothered and lewd. Aiju is stuck in the middle of this entire mess. Like there is now 14 girls he has to handle at the same time. Dude is no longer dating. He is leading an army. And these girls are wild. When they start going, it's very hard to stop them. It gets so crazy that Aiju has to break them up. He then comes up with an idea that they should sumo wrestle. The game is set. They all create a giant ring and now they have to wrestle. Whoever is able to beat Aiju will win the entire tournament, and then he has to entertain the girls and do whatever they want. Aiju has a lot of rounds to go. He has to fight against 14 enemies. This is not an easy mission. The fight begins and the first one is Yoshimoto. Of course, since she is a literal child, he is able to defeat her without a problem. She is the size of a hobbit, so it's no issue. Then the fights continue and it gets harder and harder every time. Still, Aiju is able to fight back no problem and take the girl down one by one. Some of the girls, like Hakari, want to do lewd things with him, so they just hug and grope him. Finally, after 9 rounds, Aiju is now really tired. Still, he is the winner so far, so it's going good. The problem is that he has to fight 5 more girls, and one of them is the tall girl Yasushaki and also the tomboy AQ. There is no way this man is winning. Aiju is still not ready to give up. He is sweaty and tired, but he is not giving up. Finally, it comes time to fight Ei, and she is not holding back. In fact, she is doing full-blown karate moves. The two go head-to-head, and it's intense. Still, at the end of the day, Aiju is able to defeat her. Soon after that, Yasushiki enters the ring, and this is actually the best fight for Aiju. You wonder why? Well, it's because his head goes straight into her boobs. She is that tall. So now our boy is fighting for his life, struggling to breathe as his head is stuck in her chest. Yasushaki tries a finishing move, but it does not work, and Aiju still wins. When Aiko enters the ring, things get heated. She does not hold back, and she goes crazy hard. This is a match to the death. Aiju has to fight for his life in this one, but still he does not give up. They have a brutal fight, and he still manages to win. The battles are now all over, and the reward our boy gets is to make out with every girl there, a lot. Since there are 14 girls, that's a lot of work for Aiju, but he is able to suffer through it. Momiji is a massage freak. She loves groping bodies, and that's her special talent. Of course, she has to run into Aiju and our girls. Aiju and the girls end up in a sports club, and they get separated. When Aiju later finds them, they are all passed out in a tennis court. He then spots Momi in the middle of the court. He has heard rumors about this mysterious massage girl who can take down anyone with her touch. Of course, they get hit by the soulmate gaze, and the love starts. Momi badly wants to massage Aiju, but first she has to grab the boobs from all the girls. She just cannot help herself. She loves touching boobs, which I think all manga readers can agree it's kind of awesome. Momi decides to massage Aiju, but she does not like his back. It's not developed enough. Still, she massages him and it feels great. Aiju is then determined to work out and get the perfect back for Momi to massage forever. Momi and him then meet up several more times and confess their feelings for each other. Finally, Momi decides to massage him and always be by his side, no matter his weak back. Momi now joins the crew and all hell breaks loose. Momi just has to meet the girls but in her own way, which means she has to grab them in the most lewd ways possible. Momi is so horny she just keeps touching all the girls and running after them. The school rooftop is now literally a circus and Aiju cannot control it. Even he is in danger as Momi keeps running around and jumping on everyone. Some of the girls love it, especially the horny Hakare and Hari. They love when someone grabs their boobs, and Momi is the perfect candidate for that. Finally, Momi jumps on Aiju and starts to make out with him. She's like a spider monkey that is obsessed with boobs. Chio is being bullied by some girls, and Natty decides to help her out. Natty is still role-playing as an American cowboy, so she has some wild ideas. She thinks they need to go to McDonald's and talk there. Chio follows her around, and Natty gives some of the worst advice you can imagine. Still, Natty seems nice, so she decides to help out even more than just advice. She finds those bullies, and using her lasso, she ties them all up. Chio and Natty later hang out at the park, and when the police come, Chio decides to help Natty and gets her out of this sticky situation. All the girls are hanging around the school rooftop when suddenly Kusuri introduces them to a new drug she has developed. Iai takes the drug and does an Ant-Man move. Basically, she becomes really small. Now all of the group is losing their minds, and she is now even more cute than before. Of course, since this is an insane group of people, Iai jumps into the cleavage of Hahari and Hakari, since those girls are just loving that. Aiju also loves it that Iai is now small, but he wants to take care of her so that nothing happens. Iai wants to test out her abilities, and she even tries to write some letters while she is super small. Aiju later takes her back to his house, and they spend a day like that together. Late at night, Aiju finally falls asleep. Iai kisses him while she is still in her tiny form. The following morning, the two wake up, and now Iai is back to her regular size, so she is totally naked. They kiss with a lot of passion before both of them notice she is totally naked. The girls all go to the shopping mall, and they get interviewed by a reporter. This reporter is looking for relatable and wholesome love stories, so she asks them about their boyfriend. Of course, this reporter has no idea how insane these girls are, or the fact that they are dating the same dude. The girls start to tell stories about Aiju, and all of their stories are beyond insane. He seems perfect in their stories, but also like a true monster who can do anything. Some of the girls literally describe him like he is a Dragon Ball character. Finally, the reporter meets with Aiju and asks him some questions. Whatever answer he gives, she does not believe. The reporter is also sure that all the girls are literally crazy since they imagined this perfect wild boyfriend. Kusuri decides to take Aiju to her home. Aiju is a bit worried about this trip. Last time he met a parent from one of his girls, it was Hahari, and they fell in love. He does not want the same thing to happen again. When they open the door, he meets Kusuri's mother, and the connection does not happen. Kusuri's mother seems to be totally the same as her. They are even both really tiny. When Aiju meets her father, he is also really small. They invite him into their crazy home, and soon Aiju learns that just like their daughter, the parents have big labs in the basement where they do all sorts of wild experiments. One of those experiments actually gives the father a Super Saiyan form. Dude just becomes muscular after some drugs. While Aiju is hanging out with Kusuri and her parents, he suddenly feels a connection to her grandmother. The only twist is that her grandmother has the body of a woman in her 20s. It seems that old Nana has been doing some crazy drugs and has kept herself young forever. Her name is Yakuzan Yaku, and she seems very weird. Still, she and Aiju have a great connection. Yakuzan does comment that her late husband was a manly, rugged man unlike Aiju. Since Aiju is determined to seduce her, he decides to act all manly and cool. He even puts on a crazy biker outfit and some sunglasses. Yakuzan is not impressed but still kisses him. She then explains that she does not want a rugged, manly man and she wants someone nice and kind like Aiju. She then kisses Aiju, and it seems that another member is getting added to the harem. This time it's a grandma.